Greetings, my excellent friends. The Dead Monk welcomes you to Purgatory, and I have a question for you. Is Kathleen Kennedy an idiot, or is she a liar? My money's on idiot, but she could just be a liar. And yeah, this comes from an interview she did with Rolling Stone, and they asked her a bunch of questions, and I think she's an idiot. And yeah, look at this stupid grin on her face right here. This is a grin that says, I fucked up Star Wars, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fuck you, Kathleen. So yeah, they asked her a bunch of questions, and I don't care about most of this. There are only a couple of questions on here that just show that she's a moron. Actually, I'm going to go down to this one first, because this one's just quick. Let's see, Rian Johnson made some controversial choices in episode 8, The Last Unicorn, especially considering its dramatic purpose as the second movie in the trilogy. Were you, to an extent, deliberately setting out to challenge fans and their expectations? And she says, we definitely did. We're talking all the time about how we move Star Wars forward and how we keep it relevant. What? You keep it relevant by making it good and making people interested in it. That's the only way it can be relevant. Obviously, we don't want to just keep making the same movie over and over again, but that's what you did. So I agree with you. I mean, I love what Ruin did. It's an absolutely wonderful movie, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so you're bound to have that second movie much the same way Empire Strikes Back was probably the darkest and most dramatic of the three. We talked about it in Indiana Jones. You know, we did Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then we did Temple of Doom, which was dark and created a lot of controversy. And people were surprised where it went with the storytelling, but frankly, that's the whole point. I don't see how you compare Temple of Doom to Empire Strikes Back. I mean, most people don't even realize when they watch Temple of Doom, because Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark are just separate stories, separate adventures that Indy went off on. I mean, really, as is Last Crusade. They could really happen in any order, other than the fact that in Last Crusade he does look a lot older. But, well, not as old as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Rubbish. But anyway, Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark. So if you're trying to say, oh, we have a trilogy, and the first movie sets it up, the second one makes it dark and takes a turn, and then we have the third one, well, no, Temple of Doom comes first. They just made it second. And you worked on that movie, Kathleen. Don't you know the chronological order of the 3 Indiana Jones movies? And there are only 3. No, see, I think she's an idiot. Anyway, the bulk of this is, and what pisses me off is, let's see, this question they asked her here. Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow was slated to write and direct Episode 9 before you brought Jar Jar Abrams back in to do Episode 9, Luke's Erection. Is this final entry in the trilogy a particularly hard nut to crack? We don't need her whole response, we just need the first couple sentences. Every one of these movies is a particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material, we don't have comic books, we don't have 800-page novels. Stop right there, Kathleen. What the fuck are you talking about? You have no source material. Have you heard of the EU? The expanded universe? I guess technically you don't have 800-page novels, but you have, 100 or so 300 to 400-page novels. That's tons of source material. Stupid asshole. So yeah, she could be lying here, but no, I think she's just an idiot. No source material. Look, they didn't have to just use the EU and make movies about the EU. That's fine. But you had all that to draw on. You know, they decanonized the EU right away. And they still could have drawn from it, which they have. They brought Thrawn back. they made Timothy Zahn write a new Thrawn trilogy. I haven't read it because fuck Disney. I'm not giving them my money. When I go see episode 9, I'm not buying a ticket to episode 9. I'm not buying a ticket to Luke's Erection. I'm going to find some other movie to buy a ticket for. I don't know, I'll have to see what else is out at the time. And I'm just going to sneak into episode 9. It's not like the theater's going to be full or anything. But fuck Disney, I'm not giving them my money. Let's see. Where were we? So, yeah. Hundreds of books of source material, you stupid wanker. You didn't have to use the EU, but as I said, tweak it. Instead of making the same fucking story. Episode 7, Good Morning Force, they fight a big Death Star, and it's the same story as Star Wars. Episode 8, The Last Unicorn, almost Empire Strikes Back, with a little Return of the Jedi mixed in. Episode 9, I don't know too much about it, but the only things I've heard, I guess, well, the Emperor's back. It's pretty hard to avoid that. And that's so stupid. And then the Death Star's involved again. I guess not a new Death Star, but still a Death Star. Just like Return of the Jedi. And they have to kill the Emperor, just like Return of the Jedi. Why are you just making the same movies over and over again when you said you didn't want to make the same movies over and over again? Idiot. No, you could have done. I know I've talked about this before, but if you wanted to not make the same movie, you could have gone to the EU and done the New Jedi Order, the Yuuzhan Vong War. There's about 20 books in the series. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, the Yuuzhan Vong are a race from another galaxy. They came from their galaxy into the Star Wars galaxy. And it took them a long time. I think they'd been traveling in these ships for more than a generation, something like that. And so all these invaders are just basically bred for war, and they have these huge organic ships, and they can use them they have weapons they can use to terraform planets. At some point they make it all the way to Coruscant, which the whole planet's just one big city. And nope, they turn that into lush landscapes, vegetation all over. And yeah, a lot of stuff happens, and it's at least something different. And these Yuuzhan Vong, they have various ways of neutralizing Jedis and the Force and that kind of thing. But there are plenty of times where a few just regular Yuuzhan Vong soldiers, that can be, they can make it pretty tough on a Jedi. Which is good, because overpowered Jedi fighting off battle droids are just boring. But, you know, the one big difference here is, it's, at this point I think it's about 25 years after Return of the Jedi, and this whole time you've had the New Republic came from the Rebellion, and they've had various factions they've had to contend with, and one of them is just the remnants of the Empire, which at this point it's just called the Imperial Remnant, and they're out in the Outer Rim. That's really all the territory they have left. But they have to join forces to fight the Yuuzhan Vong. So you have Imperial Star Destroyers fighting alongside some Moncals. And yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, something different. You know, you could go beyond that if you wanted. The stories that take place after, where you have Han and Leia's kid, Jason the Prick. He basically tries to become another emperor / Darth Vader kind of thing. And, you know, that'd be kind of the same story. And then, well, at least have Jaina Solo if you did that, although they're in the New Jedi Order. But instead we get this utter trash that Disney gave us. Kathleen, because she thinks there's no source material. Fucking idiot. What if? Alright, so let's suppose for a second that she is just a moron. Well, what if she actually knew there were Star Wars books? And what if she read some? Or maybe, I assume she can read. What if she asked somebody else to read some and say, hey, find some good stuff in here that would be age appropriate for the characters? I mean, you know, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker. Well, that is, the actors. Well, their characters have aged enough that it would be fitting. You know, find some stories in here that are good, and we'll take those and adapt them, make some changes. What if she'd actually done that? Maybe we could have had good Star Wars. But, no, a moron's in charge. As much as I don't really get angry about Star Wars because Disney killed it, I'm beyond being angry. I see this kind of shit and I can still get sad. Like just imagining what if. Well, Kathleen, you suck. I just want Disney Star Wars to become so worthless that they sell it off. Oh well, I'm done with this. Kathleen, fuck you. And Jar Jar Abrams and Rian Johnson, you all suck. Oh well. Look forward to episode 9, Luke's Erection. In the meantime, be excellent to each other. Farewell.